Hello and welcome to Stories About Blank, the podcast where we challenge ourselves and you to create original stories based on prompts we have never seen. I'm Morton.
And I'm Katie. And this is episode 3.
Whoa.
Fun.
At time of recording, we still haven't released anything. There's no public reactions for us to react to, so we have no clue how we are doing so far.
But we're just gonna have fun with it and see what happens.
Yes, that's true. Yes, we know how we are doing. We're having fun.
Yeah.
So we are going back again to writingexercises.co.uk. Not a sponsor. They do not know we exist.
But if anyone listening wants to, we're open.
But this is just a great website I found that has a lot of different kinds of writing prompt generators of different kinds. So today we were gonna try the random first line.
Woohoo.
So we are going to get a first line and then each write a story starting with that line.
I can see there's a choose genre. How many genres are there?
Mystery, fantasy, crime, romance, action, general.
Okay, but we're going to go for all genres.
Yes.
All right.
We are not tying ourselves down. Anything we want to say before we jump into the prompt?
Well, if you're just now tuning in to this podcast, what we are going to do is we're going to write and then we're going to share, talk about the creative writing process and enjoy each other's writing. And we're not going to worry about how good it is. We're going to write for roughly 20 to 30 minutes. And yeah.
Yeah, and what it is what it is.
And that's just something that you can do along with us. You can pause the podcast, write it. And we have a website. I have a website called Clearing the Creative, and people are going to be able to share their prompts if they'd like and kind of build some community over there.
Yeah. So, the first line of our story will be, to save his own life, he would have to kill.
Da da da!
Okay, now that is interesting.
That is so dark.
Yeah.
You are not writing that kind of dark stuff generally, are you?
Well, I've written some dark stuff before, but that was mostly Magic the Gathering fan fiction.
Yeah, because that's how geeky my man is. All right, cool. So we're going to be back, but no time at all will have passed in this podcast.
Yes, through the magic of editing.
But before we share our stories, first a word from the sponsor, me. I'm Katie, and I have a passion for helping people with their creative projects. If you're listening to this, maybe you're a writer too. Maybe you have a block in your novel, or in some aspect of your process, some aspect in perhaps connecting with your target audience. I would love to be someone that you can talk to through that and work your way through that creative block. I would love to be the person that you can talk your story through, and I can give you my perspective about what I would like to know about your characters or something like that. It's just so valuable to have someone to bounce the ideas with and get that other perspective with, especially when you're just too close to a project. So you can connect, like we mentioned just a minute ago, on my website, Clearing the Creative. It really should be clearing for the creative, because obviously we're not making the creative go away. We're just clearing the path for it. So whether it's creative writing, content creation, or something else entirely, but you think that we might be a good fit to work together or would like to consider that, I would love to offer you a free consultation where we can chat, we can see if we vibe, and I can give you something of value to take with you in any case. I should also mention that I am a video editor, so that is another way that I can support you if you're on a content creation path and and that is one of your hiccups along the way, puzzling the footage together, making it into something. Maybe you know how to do it, but it takes way too much time. I can help. So my website is clearingthecreative.com. clearingthecreative.com. Please reach out to me and let's get into the stories.
So we got back together again, and the first thing Morton said was,
I'm not sure how I feel about this one.
I'm really interested to see which direction you went with this.
I feel like
Did you go to a dark place?
no, which is what I am like, sort of. Well, I started in a dark place, and then so I tried to twist it, so I wanted to start dark and then bring it the other direction. But I'm not sure if I succeeded or if I'm just gonna come off as idealistic and preachy.
I've loved how I feel the tension in all of the prompts we've done, all three.
Yeah.
I felt the tension of the story coming out. Like, it feels so good. It feels so interesting. Shall we jump in, or do you want to say anything more about it?
Well, I always like to start with the question: did you write the first idea you had, or did you?
I don't know why that question's interesting to you, because I don't have a bazillion ideas.
Okay, yeah, no, but sometimes it is yeah,
I don't understand the question.
Well, but sometimes you can be you could have maybe I could do this, and then you think about it a bit more, and then you go, no, that's not as interesting as I thought, or or I can't write that, I can't find the hook for that story right now.
Gotcha.
And I've always find that interesting to see, yeah, what if? But you didn't. No, I didn't really either. I am very much write the first thing I think of kind of person.
Who's excited? I know I am.
Well, you go first then.
All right.
Since I tried to put an unexpected spin on mine, but maybe so I want to see what you did first.
Okay, but don't look at the words.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool. We are such a varied couple. So I got 2,912 words.
Wait, you did no. Yeah, I think that was the character count, not the word count.
Oh, sorry.
We looked at it for the word count was 6.
Word count. 698. Just kidding.
Yeah. So we were about the same. I had, I think, 20 words less than you.
All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
To save his own life, he would have to kill a rabbit. A freaking rabbit. This was embarrassing. He cursed his ridiculously sheltered life, where every piece of meat purchased was behind plastic and not at all resembling a Disney character. But he was hungry, and munching on leaves was not it. He was pale and exhausted. He had no idea how to get a fish out of a river, and it felt like absolute dumb luck that his trap to catch this rabbit had even worked. And now that he had it, he had to figure out how to kill it. Oh, great! That adorable, wiggly-nosed little cutie. Okay, it wasn't helping anything to keep considering its cuteness. He was hungry. He was hangry. In the cartoons, they started to see each other depicted as food when they were hungry. He was supposed to look at this animal and see a juicy hamburger. Any minute now. How long had he even been out here? It wasn't worth the energy to curse himself any more for all the mistakes and unfortunate things that had happened to have ended up in this stupid predicament. Hiking and camping alone, looking for interesting rocks, writing in his notebook and losing track of time, being surprised by how fast it was becoming dark, sleeping luxuriously, waking up to rain that was so intense his tent started to sag and paths changed shape. He was too far in. It was too different and impossible to read where he was and which way was back to where he started. He wanted to be totally alone. He had wanted total freedom and privacy, and boy did he get it. He had finished all the protein bars and chips and bacon and stick bread, and the days had just kind of melded together in looking for things that looked edible, that he was brave enough to try, and things he was pretty sure would give him a really interesting experience. He put a few more sticks on the fire and clapped his hands until they were red to psych himself up. He took a little walk to look for an appropriately sized rock to bash the little head. That seemed pretty humane, right? Like it would be over before it even knew it. His head was weak with hunger and his stomach was feeling so sucked and vacuous it genuinely hurt. So how would he do it? Throw it down with a lot of force? Oh God, what was he going to do with the hair and other stuff? He had helped his mom with the turkey back in the day. He thought it was fun reaching in the butt to pull out all the gross stuff inside. This was definitely going to be a lot more wet. If he had anything left in his stomach, he would have thrown up for sure at this thought. Maybe if he narrated this ridiculous situation from the third person, he could do this. Just kind of distance himself from it. Okay, to save his own life, he would have to kill this rabbit. He would need a good scraping stick. He would need his knife. Maybe to make the stick more scrapey. A good spatula kind of stick. And of course, the knife for actually cutting it open. Oh God, oh God, oh God. Focus! Why did his pocket knife have to be so short? Ugh, if only it was longer so he wouldn't have to be so close to it all. Focus. He would need to probably cut the stomach and dump it out. Far, far away from where he was sleeping, or trying to sleep, since it was impossible to sleep with the stomach screaming at him all the time. Maybe he would need to scrape out whatever didn't fall out on its own. He would need some rocks to stack over the fire for the rest of it to sit on. Okay, more rocks. Good. Focus. In order to save his life, he would have to kill this rabbit, he murmured, brow furrowed, teeth pressed together, as he lifted up the rock and took aim.
Oh, and that's where it ends?
Yeah.
Oh, why would you do that? That's just cruel.
I know, right?
Okay, wow. That was a roller coaster of emotion.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Because that's just something that I have thought about before. Like, if I had to be the one to kill the animal, I would for sure be a vegetarian. Because I don't want to do that. Give me the plastic wrapped stuff, man.
I have been part of chicken slaughtering, but that was a long time ago. And I didn't do the extra killing. I just caught them for my dad to do the killing.
Right. But you didn't actually have to do any of the opening up.
No.
Because imagine having to do all of that and having to psych yourself up for that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh, that was good.
Thank you. Now I'm really excited to see which way you went with it.
Okay. To save his own life, he would have to kill. At least, that was what he had been told. As he rushed through the woods, he frantically searched both his memory and his surroundings for a less gruesome way out of the situation. He was grimly aware of the fact that people somehow took the entirely wrong lessons from a story. He thought back to the stories from his youth of powerful people forcing undesirables to kill or be killed, and wondered how his generation somehow missed the fact that the moral of those stories was to not do that. And still, after being found guilty of a crime which did not warrant a death sentence, but for which the already overcrowded prison system could not accommodate him, he found himself sent off to a remote island with 149 other people in the same situation as him, and told that the last 5 of them to survive would be allowed to go back home. Not that there was much to go back to anyway. Chances were he would just starve again, have to steal to survive, and end up back here. Of course he didn't want to die either. So there it was, the false dichotomy they tried to force on him. Live in misery or die in fear. He was going to find a third option. Suddenly it became obvious to him. He carefully went over the rules of the gruesome game in his head and spotted the glaring loophole. Now the big issue was figuring out how to actually do it before it was too late. He was lucky if such a concept could exist on the island. The first person he bumped into was reasonable and frankly happy to be given another option. The government probably should have put some effort into sending more bloodthirsty people into their death game, but he wasn't complaining. And having someone else for backup, no matter how timid, made it a lot easier to approach more people. By some miracle, they were able to reach all of the prisoners before any killing took place. They gathered all 150 people in clear view of one of the many cameras set up on the island, and he took a step forward and began to speak. By now, you have certainly heard me explain this to the others many times over, but this time I am directing my words directly to the creators and viewers of this cruel farce. The terms given to us by the cruel mockery of a justice system which sent us here were clear. We would be brought to the island and left to our own devices. No one would come for us or interfere with our survival until such a time that 5 or fewer of us remained alive, at which point those survivors would be escorted back to the mainland and offered full pardons for any crimes committed up until that point. No time limit was given for accomplishing this. We have thus unanimously decided to build a home here. There is enough fish and plants to keep us alive for the time being, and we have people skilled enough to cultivate those plants in the years to come. We hope you continue watching as we try to model a society which cares for its people. But even if you turn away, remember that we were promised free reign without interference, and now everyone knows. You cannot stop us from living our lives here without showing the world that you cannot be trusted. This is the first thing we ask the viewers to hold the government to. We are aware that we may fail. Perhaps our plans crumble after a decade, after a year, or next week. But no matter how long it takes, we will die knowing that we tried to do better, to be better. And when we fail, we ask everyone watching right now to hold the government to one more thing. Bring the last 5 of us home.
I love how, so in my story, this is a genuine, not fear of mine. I don't think I'm gonna ever actually have to kill an animal to survive, but the fact that I stopped it, right as it's about to happen, because I don't want to go through with it. You are a pacifist.
Yes.
You were gonna find this thing was in order to survive. You would have to kill. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
You can't make me.
That's what they said anyway.
Yeah. I'm so tired of always being told that violence is the only option. No. People can actually be reasonable. It's hard to get there, but it can happen.
But you said you were worried that it was too preachy?
Yeah.
I mean, we are who we are.
Yes. It's sort of funny the main, the big inspiration for this was, of course, the various Hunger Games and that sort of death game fiction, which I, explicitly reference in the story, but also an old comic strip that I read that was in a magazine I had as a kid, where someone's like, yeah, I got on one of those reality TV shows, and I managed to convince everyone that we didn't actually need to fight and have conflicts. That was just something that they were tricking us into doing to make for better television. So we just cooperated and sang songs and had a really good time. It was terrible TV, but no one got hurt. And I was like, I want that.
So this is a live streamed thing. So he was talking to people live?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. One thing I noticed, I was like, uh-oh, which animal should it be? Fish doesn't have the same punch as a thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to catch that. And I was like, oh, but what island? Is it on an island? Which islands have it? I was like, no. So I was imagining that it was Appalachia.
Yeah.
It's not oh, there's a big clear place to go. I know it's really common to get super lost in the woods there.
Yeah.
But I was like, I can't get caught up in the cobwebs of what's possible, or get caught up in what led him to that. I gotta focus on the story.
Yep. Yeah, it was really interesting. So but now that we have some more time, can you think of any other directions you could take this? Like take the line
Mm,
to save someone life, you would have to kill. Like,
I mean, I remember a Dean Koontz book I read that was like that. Like, in order to save your wife, you have to kill this stranger.
yeah,
So maybe.
yeah, one of those. Like, yeah, yeah. There are like all sorts of like crazy like death game variations because that is basically it's a
Ooh.
small scale death game, but also, but yeah, or also just yeah,
kind of like an Inception thing of
Mhm.
in order to save your life, you have to kill yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Like this is not real right here, and you have to jump off this building in order to get back into your real life.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's a thing. That's definitely a way to take that. Um, I'm thinking of like, ooh, you could do a. There's only one spot left on the lifeboat.
oh, but we're both like it's so hard to put your values aside for the
Yeah,
story. Like, okay, my character does not have the values that I do.
yeah. It is. It is really hard. I mean, so that's.
Be like, hey, didn't that guy cheat on his wife?
Yeah, it's like really yeah.
Didn't that guy vote against the healthcare? So maybe I should take his spot instead.
Yeah, because that's the thing, especially like writing so quickly under pressure as we're doing now. It is really hard to do proper character building. So yeah, we both did sort of self-inserty things.
Yeah.
It was like, how would I work in this absurd situation? Which is, yeah, that's far easier to write, but it's also like, yeah, it's definitely not the only thing you can write.
But I think a lot of people, it's just so normal with all the distractions there. You need to have some kind of parameters of it being fast and easy.
Yeah.
And not worrying about it being good, not worrying about how self-insert it is, just to get those creative juices flowing.
Yeah, because this was, like you don't have to do like you don't have to work on everything at once when you want to get better at writing. It's like, yeah, we did not put a lot of effort into character building in this, but we put effort into other things. And then other times we do like, well, last episode was like all character.
Yeah.
We did all character building, both of us.
I think my character was pretty established in his internal monologue.
Oh, yes. But what I'm saying is that the whole thing of like that you based a lot of that on, your own feelings of how you would react to the situation.
Yeah.
You weren't like trying to create an entirely unique character that was like completely separate from yourself.
Yeah. But I would have liked to have heard more about your character. I think this could be a really good movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of bringing me back to the Barbie movie of waking up all the Barbies after they got hypnotized by the Kens.
Yeah.
Remember?
Vaguely, yes.
When she gives this speech about how hard it is to be a woman to all of them.
Yeah.
So it's bringing all the inmates, not inmates, but all the contestants together to be united. Cool. Anything else to say about this experience?
No, but yeah, if you wrote a story or if you have an idea for a writing prompt for a later episode or anything else you want to tell us, you should be able to either comment below wherever you heard this or go to the website clearingthecreative.com and find the page for this podcast on there and tell us what you think and what you feel.
Yay! Cool. Do we remember did we have an outro? I don't remember.
Think we did.
Well, Well, we're getting into the flow of things.
Wait. Okay, wait. I'm trying to think of a good one. Okay, I think. So, until next time, don't be afraid to tell your story.
Oh, nice. Bye.
Bye.
This has been Stories About Blank. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, tell your writing friends, and let's grow a fun writing community. And please visit my website, clearingthecreative.com, and let's set up a time for a free chat to talk about your creative block and find a way through it. Thank you!